I have touched will be the proof that I live, that I made a difference, and this world will see.
I was here, I lived, I loved, I was here, I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I just want them to know that I gave my all, I did my best, I brought someone some happiness, left this world a little better, just because I was here.
I hate when they underestimate us. They don't know our story, shine in our glory.
We are tired of shouting, don't ignore me,
As we begin our rant, and don't tell us we can't.
because there's seeds we can plant
In your minds.
that remind.
Remind you that we have power to
Lost but not hard to find.
find the inner you that you try to pursue.
Breaking the confines.
Confines that no matter how hard they try to screw and make us lose our fuel.
We still manage to keep cool.
All we have is 3 simple rules. 1, we don't snap, neither we attack unless you provoke us. This means you awoke us, don't expect to not feel a wrath. After all, we had a rough path. Years of oppression without question. What gave you the impression? Was it my facial expressions or in awe of my progressions or possessions? Let's get into some confessions. Sometimes I'm not strong, sometimes I'm not smart, sometimes the only place I feel at home is when I'm lost in my art. Don't judge me by my past because of my heart. I am pure in my intentions. Don't mind my reflections. It's just society gave me no choice but to give objections. 2, we lead with our heart. We try to keep it smart. The world doesn't deserve us.
You all hurt us, reject us, neglect us, yet expect us to turn the other cheek. They say our emotions make us weak. Society preys upon the meek, but does God answer calls after Sundays? When that's the only time you make to speak to him. It's a preacher sent to pretend to love thy neighbor, but never really want to see them win. 3, we stand together.
Together?
Together.
Together.
So where do we begin?
In the battle of self-love, when the melanin in our skin isn't dark enough to help us uncover the scars from insecurity, and the curls in our hair can't help us untangle the sensual obscurity.
When the fullness of our lips can't utter words that lack sincerity, the curves on our body are being beaten, dominated, and stripped of its purity.
What it means to be a black woman.
It means a life of giving,
Bearing children.
focused on being driven.
Generations and generations of reliving so many past regressions that need to be forgiven. But then there's me,
and me,
who decided to break free and educate the world how powerful a black woman can be. How powerful a black woman can be.
I was here, I lived, I loved, I was here, I did, I've done, I was here, I lived.
Okay, I got the beautiful Aaliyah Love here. We got Akita, Sky, Kayla, Chloe, and Kenyon. Round of applause to them. Ooh. Okay, so I'm just pulling this up. We did a little transition there. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Plan International Canada's Storytellers Symposium. I'm not actually your MC, but I am the Executive Artistic Director and founder of this beautiful artist collective that you see here behind this opening performance. My name is Serena Loy. I go by she, her pronouns, and we are the Flaunt It Movement. We are a grassroots, youth-led artist collective and social enterprise that fosters self-love, highly esteemed representation, and leadership opportunities for women and non-binary youth. Our platform is all about creating resources, events, and programming to really empower primarily Indigenous and racialized women and non-binary youth to become the best artists, activists, and entrepreneurs they could possibly be. So our artist collective is really led by young racialized women, as you see here, and we are made of singers, poets, photographers, filmmakers, visual artists, and so much more. And what we all share in common, and what really fuels our movement, is our collective passion to use the arts and entrepreneurship to make social change within our local communities. So Flaunt is actually primarily based in the Jane and Finch community. We work in supporting different low-income communities all across Northwest Toronto. And these are the neighborhoods we call home. These are the places that we live in and reside in as a for youth, by youth organization. And we come from these areas where really, truly, we just grew up with not being able to have access to the arts. And what we did is really just break down the barriers to make sure we have access to them. So through our work, we're able to provide income opportunities, programs to learn more about disciplinary arts, inclusive safe spaces, as our mission is really just dedicated to celebrating our identities. So now we chose I Was Here by Beyonce as our song here, as a testament to the work that we are honored and very proud to do. It's a call to also all of you, to remind you of the ways that we all have the power to make change, no matter how big or small, or especially in our contributions and our advocacy. All of it matters, and never should be discredited. So you're all here, and you're all a part of something bigger than you might realize. Today is going to be a day filled with reflexivity, empowerment, inspiration, and really just calls to continue to support the issues that you're all passionate about. So you're here in a position to hold space and show up for one another, to really reimagine our futures. And we are here because we're never gonna be forgotten. We're here because we know we matter. We are here because we embody the change that we want to see in our communities. So we would like to also thank Plan International Canada's team again for this opportunity to perform here. Noel, thank you. Honestly, big round of applause. I know, because yes, you have an amazing, today's gonna be amazing, the whole weekend, there's so much happening. We're just very honored to be here in this moment. And we'd love for you to get to know us and more about our work. But before I get off with our team here, I actually want to start off this whole symposium with a little bit of an exercise. So it's a short one, I swear. I need everyone to sit up. Sit straight, take a little deep breath with me. I'm gonna have you repeat after me. We're gonna do affirmations. This is very powerful. I want you to really breathe in and take in every word and say it very intentionally. So repeat after me. I am bold.
I am bold.
I am brilliant.
I am brilliant.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I can make a difference. And I am a change maker. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much to Flaunt It Movement for that inspiring performance. Your talent, passion, and creativity are truly remarkable. Thank you so much for sharing your gift with us. Your advocacy throughout your performance set the tone for what is to be an inspiring night ahead. Welcome everyone to Plan International Canada's Storytellers Symposium. My name's Alicia Uslam, and I'm going to be hosting tonight's wonderful event. For those who have never attended a Plan Canada event before, welcome. And to those who have been to one of our events before, whether that be virtually or in person, welcome back. And just an important note, there is a space just outside this room for those who are looking to pray, and you are welcome to leave at any time. I would like to start by recognizing that we are situated on Turtle Island. Toronto is the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat. And George Brown College is located on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and other First Nations communities who have lived here over time. I would equally like to recognize their enduring presence and that we are grateful to share this land as treaty people who learn, work, and live in this community together. The Storytellers Symposium holds a special place at Plan International Canada, as it brings together advocates from our programs around the world to showcase their passion for global issues. It serves as a platform to shed light on how we can all cultivate global awareness and make a difference. This event allows us to celebrate the power of storytelling and the impact it can have on inspiring positive change. We are grateful for the opportunity to come together, share experiences, and learn from one another as we work towards a better and a more globally conscious world. This year, we have an incredibly exciting lineup of influential speakers and young advocates who have fused art and activism in meaningful and creative ways. So prepare to be inspired. For those who are new to Plan Canada and may be unfamiliar with our youth engagement and advocacy initiatives, allow me to provide you with an overview. Our youth programs actively involve individuals between the ages of 14 and 24 of all gender identities, empowering them to deepen their awareness and knowledge of global issues. By fostering their leadership and advocacy skills, we aim to unlock their agency and unleash their creativity and leadership as active global citizens. Despite our national and even international distances and backgrounds, we all intersect at the change that we desire to initiate. My advocacy found itself at Plan International Canada's door when I joined the Speakers Bureau a few years back. And last year, I had the honor of being one of the presenters alongside such diverse, open-minded individuals like the ones today, who continue to inspire me. Their work only strengthens my faith that progress is always possible. And these intersections only prove that change doesn't only lie in our hands, it lies in our voices. Over the years, the Storytellers Symposium has served as a platform for talented young advocates to share their compelling stories and experiences. And today's celebration revolves around the theme, advocacy in action. So to kick us off, I'd like to present a special video from our youth advocates and past Storytellers Symposium participants who will share what inspires them to be advocates and why the Storytellers Symposium has allowed them to showcase their creativity in creative and meaningful ways. So be prepared to be moved and inspired as we witness the power of advocacy and action throughout the night.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi everyone, my name is Carly and I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba on Treaty 1 territory.
My name is Alicia and I take part in the Speakers Bureau here at Plan International Canada.
Hi, I'm Rhea and I've been a part of Plan International Canada for over 4 years now. From their Speakers Bureau, where I first started off, to the youth advocates where I engaged in the Change the Grid Story campaign, to even facilitating and moderating sessions at Youth Summit.
I have been a part of Plan International Canada since 2018 as a member of the Speakers Bureau. I was part of the 2022-2023 Girls Belong Here program, participating in both the innovation hubs and political seat share.
My name is Caroline and I'm a member of Plan International Canada's Youth Council, but I actually began my advocacy journey with the Speakers Bureau and the Girls Belong Here program.
My name is Aiza Abid and I'm a former youth ambassador for Plan International Canada, where I was involved in several programs including Girls Belong Here and Speakers Bureau, as well as past youth summits and Storytellers Symposiums.
We are a chapter at Plan International Canada.
Plan International Canada has inspired my advocacy journey in so many ways. Most notably, it's inspired me to pursue a global health major at the University of Toronto. Additionally, it's given me an opportunity to connect with fellow youth who share similar interests, have similar passions in advocacy and social justice, and most importantly, understand the barriers and struggles that are unique to youth.
They helped me find my passion for climate action and taught me how to channel such passion into advocating for change.
Plan International Canada inspired me to pursue knowledge and build my network of advocates. There are so many bold, powerful, and driven youth and youth champions that I've met through Plan.
To build a world where we not only survive, we thrive, it's a matter not of politics but of humanity, and that's what each and every one of us carries in our hearts.
Plan International Canada greatly supported my advocacy journey by opening the door for me to have these conversations with powerful women in the federal government. Without this program, I wouldn't have had the network or the social capital that would enable me to engage in these spaces.
Plan International Canada was pivotal for me really early on in my advocacy journey. They provided me with a wealth of knowledge and resources on the issues that affect children and connected me with a community of like-minded advocates who cared deeply about advancing children's rights.
Plan International Canada has offered our group, as well as other groups around Canada, to create a platform to advocate for related issues. This year's theme was body image and self-esteem. We decided to advocate for postpartum women in against a bounce-back culture.
In one word, meaningful youth engagement means investment to me. When youth are not only included, but valued from start to end and beyond, that's where authentic youth-led change happens.
I would say that it's sustainable. Plan International Canada's programs don't just focus on one workshop with one goal, but rather on many workshops and many programs that equip youth with transferable skills, educate them about current issues, and most importantly, give them a sense of community.
Progress. Because for others, it's a call to continue showing up, and to continue advocating.
Be inspiring. Although it's technically 2 words, you can help so many young people by being an inspiration, either through your advocacy work, your work ethic, or even through your ability to help others.
Impact. Meaningful youth engagement to me means moving beyond surface level commitments towards creating sustainable and long-lasting ways for young people to advocate for the issues that affect their lives.
The Storytellers Symposium is really important in amplifying youth voices because it quite literally gives youth a stage to share their stories on.
Opportunities such as the Storytellers Symposium recognizes this and provides a platform for youth to share their experiences and connect with others who are advocating for social change.
The Storytellers Symposium allows us to change perspectives and inspire others. It also gives young changemakers a platform to share their ideas and initiatives.
Storytellers Symposium serves as a reminder that together we can and we will create tangible change. Being in such an inspiring environment will reinforce the belief that each person has a voice and a story to tell.
With Plan International Canada at this year's Storytellers Symposium, we all acknowledge that we can turn the impossible into possible, while also acknowledging that we may come from different intersectionalities even within this one city.
Sometimes it feels like because there's so many voices, it's impossible to get yours heard. But platforms like the Symposium dedicate time and appreciation, so we enjoy the journey as much as our activism outcomes.
It's been so inspiring to see all the incredible young people who have taken the stage since then, and I can't wait to hear their stories tonight, so I hope you enjoy Storytellers Symposium.
What an incredible array of inspiring stories. It's evident that the future is really in good hands. Truly inspired by my fellow advocates who continue to show that education has a start, but no end, and we can always continue learning. Thank you all for your ongoing advocacy and for sharing what ignites your passion to be a trailblazer and a driving force in positive change. To learn more about Plan International Canada's youth programming, visit plancanada.ca/youth-opportunity to find out more. Now, I am so excited to get started. Without further ado, I am pleased to introduce Plan International Canada's President and CEO, Lindsay Glasgow. Lindsay has more than 25 years of experience in social policy and program development, working across various sectors, including the UN, government, non-for-profit, and even the private sector. She held executive roles such as Director of International Cooperation and Development for the International Olympic Committee, President and CEO of Special Olympics Canada, and Global Director of Policy and Strategy for Right to Play. Lindsay has also worked for the Government of Canada and served as a food security consultant for UN organizations. So her expertise spans global health, youth development, education, gender equality, and more. Lindsay was honored with the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal in 2013, and her leadership has earned Plan International Canada a place in Canada's Most Admired Cultures Hall of Fame, the first nonprofit to receive this distinction. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Lindsay Glasgow.
I think I have an issue with two mics going on here. So Ryan, should I move this one aside? Okay, maybe just do that. Thank you so much, Alicia. Now I'm echoing. It's good to go? Okay. I'm thrilled to be here. It's lovely to see all of you. Good evening and welcome to the Storytellers Symposium. Before I begin, I really would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to RBC, today's event sponsor. Over the past few years, RBC has been an invaluable supporter of the Storytellers Symposium, and their support greatly impacts our youth engagement programs at Plan International Canada, including our Champions of Change clubs, which you've just heard about, and the annual Youth Summit, which is taking place this weekend. So thank you to RBC. And of course, a huge heartfelt thank you to all of you, everyone present here today. Your support, your advocacy, and your investment in Plan International Canada's mission of advancing children's rights and equality for girls is invaluable. So tonight, we're here to celebrate the power of storytelling, the power to evoke emotion, to challenge perspectives, and to shape our collective future. Our stories define our uniqueness, and when we share them, our stories have the captivating ability to inspire, to create connections, and to unite us all. Storytelling is an incredibly powerful tool for social change. Through narratives, we can shed light on social injustices, we can drive meaningful dialogue, we can foster understanding, and we can spark transformation with individuals and within communities. So tonight's event marks the intersection of our passion for storytelling and youth activism. We strongly believe at Plan International Canada in the potential of youth to become agents of global change. And what better way to challenge conventions and provide fresh perspectives for a brighter future than through storytelling. So this Storytellers Symposium is a space, and we heard it earlier, where all perspectives are welcome. Authenticity is celebrated, and hearts and minds will be moved into action. I want to kick off the evening with my own poem. And I've been known to do poems with the help of ChatGPT, but tonight's poem was pre-GBT days, or something I thought of a few years ago and have worked on since and transformed, and I thought it would be appropriate for tonight. And it's not. Let me say it's in the vein of what Serena spoke to, because it really is about being brilliant, being bold, being powerful, being a change maker, and making a difference. And that's why I've called my poem, Our Power, Our Voice. So bear with me. I don't have the talent of flaunt it movement. And this isn't something I do every day, but I will do my best to share my poem with you. We all know the story, wishing it were transitory. Day after day and week after week, conflict, COVID, climate, and hunger wreak. Their dreadful toil from here to there, pain, loss, and suffering we all share. Yet among the most affected are also those too often neglected. Millions of girls are out of school, victims of many acts so cruel. hurt by their very own loved ones, cast off as young brides to the sons of others, or shouldered with a burden to care for family and make do, while their own needs and dreams are forgotten or shelved, or so it seems. In just a few years, gains that were so near for girls around the world are retreating. Were they really there or merely fleeting? But we know that the story need not end there. Our resolve can already be seen to bear inspiring images and tales of hope, people pushing the envelope, breaking through its seal, finding new ways to feel, and hear the voices reminding of choices we have before us, knowing that solidarity is the welcoming mat, to invite into our hearts a hope that imparts determination, not desperation, a realization, not resignation, a pronunciation to strive for better, completely unfettered, and to rest this tale onto a course without fail, to seize the opportunity as a global community. It starts with storytelling, growing awareness, not dwelling on what was, but on what shall be, helping others to see through music, poetry, film, and art, multiple ways to hit restart. For this is the power to help in this hour, as a group to come together, show proudly our many feathers, to inspire through our creative voice. In global connectedness, we rejoice, building momentum to be sure, illuminating what was obscure, going beyond these solid bonds, everywhere to empower girls so their potential unfurls, through learning and education and the chance for their voices to be heard to advance, that they shape the change and mold norms and values for all to uphold. So of you I ask to help with this task. Bring your ideas, your art, your pictures, your song, your verse and your prose all belong. Youth leaders are needed now more than ever. Amplify messages that endeavor with stories to inspire, move all to inquire how to collaborate, so to accelerate, addressing inequality at a much faster rate. If this we succeed to arrange, together we can drive global change. I promise you, it is not too late for us all a bright future to create. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce our next speaker, Raman Fazal, Regional Vice President at RBC. RBC has been a valued and long-standing partner of Plan International Canada, demonstrating unwavering commitment to children's rights and equality for girls. Please join me in welcoming Raman Fazal.
Everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. I can't say that I have an awesome poem like Lindsay, and I didn't use ChatGPT, but it's such a pleasure to be here and be part of this incredible event. As I heard some of the stories that the youth shared around some of the topics that you're tackling and the advocacy that you're providing, it really does give me hope that the future is bright. It's wonderful, and first of all, thank you to Plan Canada for putting together such an impactful event and an opportunity for everybody to get together and just hear from one another and the power of storytelling. So just a little bit about, RBC's approach. As you might have seen, the notion that companies today need to do more than just, be purposeful driven and really align and contribute to the community in meaningful ways. And so that's what's within our DNA at RBC, and so you heard the support that we have for Plan Canada, specifically this program. And just in terms of our role as leading businesses and brands comes with great expectations, and we know that, we take that seriously. And so the work that we do with communities, especially with regards to partners such as Plan Canada, gives us the opportunity to make broader impact together. No, not one organization can make meaningful change by itself. And so really working together, a sense of community, gives us purpose in terms of doing this. A few programs that you might not be aware of that RBC does, and the support that we provide within the community, again, which falls under what we're doing here with Plan Canada, RBC Future Launch, the support of RBC's ESG strategy, priority for youth success. RBC's Future Launch provided $500 million by 2025 to really contribute to giving Canadian youth access to meaningful employment through work experiences, skills development opportunity, networking solution, mental well-being, and support services. The other programs that we're really passionate about are RBC Tech for Nature, is our multi-year commitment to preserving our natural ecosystem. So you could see alignment in what you're hearing from some of the advocates in this room today, and hopefully you'll hear from the Storytelling Symposium around some of the common causes that we have interests. The other one would be RBC's emerging artists, really investing in our emerging artists and really making sure that we're supporting them. Diversity, inclusion. I really love the notion that, you started out the conversation saying if anybody wants to pray, there's some space there outside, and that really diversity and inclusion, really leading by that, is within the DNA of RBC. I personally have been with the bank for 16 years. I started when I was, 22, and it's been such an incredible journey to see diversity and inclusion come to life. Lindsay, you talked about some of the challenges that youth in other parts of the world go through. I'm originally from Afghanistan, and so I've lived through the war until I was 6. I've lived through moving to different countries, living in India, living in Iran, and then coming to Canada and feeling what it feels like to be really included and to be a change maker and advocate. And so I really want to encourage all of you to continue doing what you're doing. It's such an inspiration, even if you impact one person. That's incredible, and the ripple effect is so great. So I know I said I don't have a poem, but I have a quote that I wanted to share and leave you with. What you do makes a difference, and you decide what kind of difference you want to make, by Jane Goodall. So thank you for doing what you're doing. Keep it up, and again, it gives me personal hope that we have an incredible, bright future with this amazing team of individuals. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Raman, for sharing your valuable insights. Your commitment goes to show that the rights of children and equality for girls isn't just a matter for any particular field. It's a matter of humanity. And thank you for showing us that's what each and every one of us carries in our hearts. As the proverb goes, we truly are the village it takes to raise a child. I'm beyond excited to introduce our next set of speakers. Please allow me to introduce Illa Dru. Illa Dru is a student at the University of Toronto in the Arts and Science program. She has a deep interest and passion for international relations, social activism for women and children, diplomacy, and youth advocacy. So Illa, take it away.
Let's take a second. Picture this. You're going about your day, exercising in the morning for that summer body, brunch with your friends, and late night karaoke with your colleagues after work, and winding down your day by making summer vacation plans with your family. Then suddenly, you have to leave everything behind and seek refuge in a country that you probably don't speak their language or share the same culture. The only thing you have with you is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. Well, refugees are often defined by what they've lost, which is a lot. They've lost their homes, lost their livelihoods, their friends and families. And that leads them to be reduced by just victims. You know, it's important to remember that it's a problem in itself to see refugees in this lens. Even though they're regarded as people who have lost a lot, we need to keep in mind that they have a lot of hope.
Nobody leaves all that they have behind if they don't have hope and dreams for a better future. Refugees are people like us. Let's take a look in the light of the current situation in Ukraine and Sudan. We see skilled laborers, doctors, business owners, youths. These are among the people who are coming to Canada. They have extensive work experience that helps them to contribute and add value wherever they go. And that plays a huge part in bettering the society. At least 103 million people in 2023 are forced to flee their homes, and 32.5 are refugees. 500,000 of them are from Eritrea. The refugee crisis is a pressing global issue. And in order to understand this vast adversity, we need to look beyond statistics. We have to do it with stories. Through stories, we get to show the reality of refugees, their names, their faces, their lives, and the single most important thing they had with them when they fled. Owning the fact that refugees or anyone does not expect to flee their home, the only choice they had was to move. But they don't have power over policies, and this is where we come in. We should make a difference amidst all the chaos. Through advocating and sharing stories on various social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, we can show our leaders that we are in support of refugees. And we want them to make and set up better systems to make it easy for them to get a job, to get in school, to integrate into the society with ease and resilience. So, let's take this opportunity and make our voices heard. Reach out to your local resettlement agencies, volunteer, and donate supplies. Because the beauty of it all is that we live in a country that values multiculturalism. Canada is among the few countries that allow citizens to sponsor refugees. So through private sponsorship, if you have a family member, whether distant or close, look into that. And take this golden opportunity and this chance to get stories of refugees who have been resettled into Canada. Hear their stories, because you'll be in awe. Through it all, we can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Illa. Education is such a powerful tool that you're using to shape our views on equity, and beyond that, our views on understanding and accepting each other, especially when we have different opinions. Now, I'd like to introduce Sedra and Shahd. Sedra and Shahd are youth activists dedicated to spreading positivity and making the world a better place. In 2019, they founded Elegant Art, an organization aimed at supporting Syrian children in camps and children in need worldwide through art. They use art as a universal language to depict the challenging lives that these children face, creating drawings that capture their experiences. These sisters transform their artwork into biodegradable products made of wildflower seeds that can be planted. By selling these products, they raise funds to help Syrian children in camps. These dedicated sisters have overcome unimaginable challenges since their escape from war at a young age. Their personal experiences have fueled their commitment to making a positive impact in the world. So let's give a warm welcome to Sedra and Shahd.
Shahd, have you seen the picture of your 2-year-old self in Grandpa's farm running around barefoot? Everyone warned you of getting hurt, but you didn't listen. You were such a stubborn child.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what did you say?
You were such a precious child?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wait, where?
R, is that good enough?
That's much better. Ah, look at this one. Remember cooking around with our mom, taking all the kitchen supplies, even though we don't know what we were doing?
Yep, I remember that. And then running away just to not clean up. And this is one of our sitting on our aunt's bed with her teddy bears.
She had way too many of those.
Very much agreed.
Damascus was such a beautiful city.
All before the war took over.
Hi everyone, I'm Shahd al-Shamali, a 13-year-old young advocate and co-founder of Elegant Art. I also took part in the PAGE program that runs in the Canadian House of Commons, and a fun fact about me is I really enjoy playing volleyball.
Hi everyone, I'm Sedra and Shahd, a 15-year-old youth and women advocate. I'm also the co-founder of Elegant Art and the author of the article on Globe and Mail's personal narrative section called "In Canada, My Family Doesn't Have to Dodge Bombs and Bullets Anymore." And I'll throw in a fun fact about myself. I'm obsessed with bunnies, and when I say I'm obsessed, it's to the point where my teacher the other day was asking if we could have any superpower in the world, what would it be? And I said, I want to snap and be thrown into a pool full of bunnies.
Now we're going to walk you through our journey to Canada. In Syria, during the war, imagine yourself as a small child that has to run through the bullets just to hide behind the door of their own home.
Imagine having an uncle that you cherished very much go missing for years.
Imagine watching the home that your parents built block by block turn into ruins right before your eyes.
All of these experiences belong to us. All of these experiences are what we had to undergo at 4 and 2 years old.
After that, we had to go to a neighboring country to flee from the crisis that was happening to Turkey.
And after thinking that we have finally gotten to safety, that we have finally finished all of the suffering that we were going through, and thought that we could smile and feel all the happiness that every person who has everything in their life settled out can smile. And we were all let down once again. And I never imagined having to see my dad sitting in the corner of our house, blood-stained, clothes on. I never imagined having to understand such complex topics at such a young age. But now, after coming to Canada, we're so thankful to be here and have the opportunity to be in a safe country. And we know that all of these experiences are what built us to be the people we are today. All of these experiences shaped our personalities. They made us persevering and ambitious individuals who want to make a change. We were able to accomplish things here in this country. We were able to grow our organization. We were able to be interviewed by CBC News, Global News, and many other news channels. And we have so many dreams we are taking on right now, like the book we want to publish about our family's journey, the film we're making, and so many more. And we really want to grow our organization so that we can see the smiles on Syrian kids in refugee camps' faces.
We want to grow with the help of every young advocate in this room today.
And we want to tell you more about our passion and more about the refugee crisis that we are so motivated to tackle with the help of every young advocate in this room today. Many people might not know about the refugee crisis in Syrian camps because this topic has been covered under many layers not to be discovered. And we are here today to take one layer at a time and show you guys the full picture.
Children are being stripped from their childhood. Have you ever thought about if you were going to eat for the day? Have you ever wanted to go to sit behind a desk at school instead of staying in a campsite and not having any friends or anything to learn? Have you ever wanted one thing as simple as a teddy bear or something to play with, but you never got it because of your living situation? The Syrian refugee crisis, even after 12 years of war, remains the biggest displacement crisis in the world. More than 2.6 million children reside in camps in countries like Syria, Egypt, Lebanon, Turkey, and more.
They live in camps that look like this. No proper shelter.
Let us give you all an example of how to turn your passion into a tool of change.
Now, digging deeper on the topic of elegant art, me and my sister have an organization that is a postcard organization. So we started by drawing pictures on canvases that depict the suffering of kids in Syrian refugee camps, and then we turn them into postcards that have wildflower seeds. So when you plant them, they bloom into wildflowers eventually, and this is all we raise money through that to donate to the Mulham volunteering team, which helps kids in Syrian refugee camps.
There are two things we wanted to take out of this presentation today. The first thing is that we need your help. We need your help to put a smile on kids' faces. We want you to go and visit elegantcard.ca, which is up on the screen, and if you could purchase a few postcards. Or you could spread the message on like a social media post or a word of mouth. That would be greatly appreciated. There are so many ways you aid into helping children that lives in Syrian camps.
Second thing is that you are the future. All of you sitting with us today have a voice that you can use to make change. You can speak about topics on behalf of people who are silenced. You can make an impact that may be small in your eyes, but a big occurrence in someone else's.
If you have any questions or would like to chat about your passions or stuff that you're struggling with or things that you want to do, contact us using the handles above. Oh, it's not here, sorry. Here.
And now we want to take a moment to thank our parents for being heroes in our lives. My dad sitting with us today, being a great hero, always supporting us. Thank you so much to everyone. And thank you so much to Nawal and Zain and everyone who worked hard to put this event together and for the wonderful audience. Thank you so much.
Sedra, I have a feeling these folks are going to change the world someday.
No doubt.
Thank you, Sedra and Shahd, for your moving presentation. We are grateful to witness your advocacy in action. You not only inspired us, but you motivate us to look up to our positive footprint and create trails of our own. Please continue your great work. Now, I'm pleased to introduce our next speaker, Parliamentary Secretary to Canada's Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth, Jenna Sedz. Jenna Sedz has been a longtime advocate and policymaker, currently also serving as a Member of Parliament for Canada Carleton since 2021. Before that, she served as City Councillor in the City of Ottawa, taking on additional responsibilities as Deputy Mayor in 2020 to 2021. A trained economist, Jenna Sedz also served as inaugural President and Executive Director of the Canada North Business Association and inaugural Executive Director of the CIO Strategy Council. Jenna plays a crucial role in advancing women's rights, promoting gender equality, and empowering youth across the country. With her expertise and dedication, Jenna Sedz contributes to shaping policies and initiatives that create a more inclusive and equitable society for all Canadians. So let's give a warm welcome to Jenna Sedz.
I really enjoyed the Human Library. What an incredible concept and a great opportunity to hear some of the amazing work that you are all undertaking. So thank you for sharing that work with myself as well as everyone here tonight. Before I begin, I did want to also take a moment to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. And I thank these nations and offer my respect to their elders. So today's event, today's symposium, draws on the unique powers of storytelling to inspire change, as we've heard some of the stories here tonight. Storytelling is really a key part of being human, of who we are and what we have to offer. We all share stories, probably often. of our family, of our friends, of our experiences. And through these stories, we connect, we learn, we grow deeper connections with each other. Myself, as Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Women, Gender Equality and Youth, I think one of the best and most rewarding parts of my job is hearing stories like those that are being shared tonight. Stories from people like all of you and people in all corners of our country. Je suis très ravie de vous écouter et d'apprendre à votre sujet. I'm so excited to have the opportunity tonight to listen and to learn from you. We have the opportunity here to hear diverse opinions, perspectives on topics that I know are important to all of us here tonight. The theme of this year's symposium is advocacy and action. How fitting, how empowering. A fitting theme is there's so many of you right here in this room who are living and breathing advocacy and action day in and day out, championing progresses, fighting against injustice, and finding both big and small ways to have impact. And I expect that many of us will be inspired to take further action after we all leave here tonight. Over the course of my career, I've had some amazing experiences. And I've had the opportunity to meet some incredible people along the way that have shared my passion for implementing and impacting and affecting change in our world. It was this passion that first led me into public service and then eventually running for Parliament. In my current role as Parliamentary Secretary and Member of Parliament, I get to see the remarkable progress that can be achieved when intention meets action. And as the mother of 3 teenage daughters, I am particularly motivated because of them as well to see Canada continue to make meaningful progress on many of the key issues that have already been raised here tonight, and of course, including gender equality. So I wanted to begin by sharing a few stories that speak directly to persisting gender inequalities in our country, and a bit about the people who are taking action to build a more equal and inclusive country for all of us. The first story involves a lady named Kendra Candade. She's an Albertan woman who's worked for years as an air traffic controller. And she became increasingly frustrated in her career by the gender disparities that she was witnessing in the aviation industry. She saw very few women in roles outside of customer service and cabin crew, and women were not given the opportunity and information to work in other positions. Pilots, airline executives, aerospace engineers, and her fellow air traffic controllers were often men. Inspired to effect change, in 2015, Kendra started a company called Elevate Aviation, which operates a variety of programs that encourage women to pursue a full range of lucrative career opportunities in aviation. Companies across the sector quickly recognized the advantages of hiring women for jobs that were once typically male-dominated. And many of these companies began to partner with Elevate Aviation. And this is helping to address shortages that we've seen in the industry and creating a more diverse workforce. Last year, Elevate Aviation launched a new program called Allies in the Workplace. Supported by an investment from Women and Gender Equality Canada, this program helps aviation companies create inclusive work environments where women can thrive and can advance into leadership roles. So thanks to new opportunities and supports, more and more women are stepping into roles that they've long been qualified for. They're not only seeing that they too can do these jobs, but there are more women in the roles around them as well that can help to guide and to mentor them. And this is really a wonderful thing. The next story I wanted to share involves flexipreneurs. This might be a new word for some of you, but a flexipreneur is someone who starts or operates a business on a part-time basis. They might also be a student, they might have a full-time job, or be a primary caregiver at home. The term was first coined by the Société d'Aide au Développement des Collectivités, or the SADC, which is in Shawinigan, Quebec. And SADCs are a network of about 67 not-for-profit organizations that have supported regional economic development in Quebec for over 40 years. And thanks to this pretty amazing initiative, there are a growing number of women flexipreneurs operating incredibly successful businesses. Behind these two stories that I've shared, and behind the many stories that each one of you can likely share and that we'll hear tonight, is a simple story of untapped potential. For far too long, harmful gender norms and stereotypes and systematic inequities have prevented women, girls, and gender diverse people from participating equally in and contributing fully to their workplaces, their communities, and the economy. Consider the fact that women in Canada still do far more than their fair share at home, including 60% of all unpaid care work, Consider that women who choose to start businesses are far less likely than their male counterparts to secure investor support. Studies show that women entrepreneurs and their products receive less than 4% of total investor funding. Consider that gender-based violence, a significant barrier to achieving gender equality, continues to have a devastating impact, with more than 11 million adults in Canada, the vast majority of whom are women, having experienced intimate partner violence at least once since the age of 15. But our government knows that when women benefit, we all benefit. And we are taking action to build a safe, a prosperous, and an equal Canada that I know we all want to see. We're doing this by implementing programs and funding programs and action plans that will help all Canadians. Last year, the Federal, Provincial, and Territorial Forum of Ministers responsible for the status of women launched our first ever national action plan to end gender-based violence. This is a 10-year action plan that is a broad partnership to engage all people in Canada in changing the social norms, attitudes, behaviors that contribute to gender-based violence. Additionally, in this year's budget, we invested $160 million over 3 years in organizations that serve women. These are investments that improve access to economic and leadership opportunities for women from coast to coast to coast. We also recognize that to build a stronger and more prosperous country, young people need to have a seat at the decision-making table. That's why in 2016, our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, created the first ever Youth Council, providing young Canadians between the ages of 16 and 24 with an opportunity to engage directly with senior government officials on issues that matter most to them. And I can tell you this Youth Council has tremendous impact on what we do. Plan International Canada has been working with young people throughout our country on a variety of initiatives that advance gender equality and children's rights. And these initiatives provide a tangible way for young people to take action, as many of you are, and to drive positive change in your communities and beyond. I wanted to point to one example of a wage-funded program, The Power Within, and there was a human library on this one as well tonight. The Power Within, which provides young people in our country, especially girls and gender diverse youth, with the skills, the knowledge, and the resiliency they need to develop strong body confidence and self-esteem. This program was bolstered by research that shows that there's a correlation between self-esteem and body confidence, and the achievement of leadership positions later in life. To effect larger change, we must first break the many stereotypes and social taboos that have long hindered progress. Given this Sunday is Menstrual Health Day, it's also fitting to consider the harmful stigma that's associated with something as natural as menstruation. In 2018, Plan International surveyed, I believe it was about 2,000 Canadian women about menstruation. And many of those who identified as women and girls, 66%, reported hearing insults about having a period or PMS, with 44% on the receiving end. More than 20% reported that they rationed their menstrual products or used them longer than they should because they couldn't afford to buy more. This figure raises to 33% among those with household income of less than $50,000 and nearly 48% among Indigenous women surveyed. And I very much look forward to reading the report released yesterday and the new data as well. So thank you very much for that good work. By some estimates, we know that more than 1.2 Canadians who menstruate struggle to access appropriate products when they need them. This can be due to just a poor access issues, stigma, negative stereotypes, and results in fewer Canadians being able to fully participate in school and work and in their communities. However, the good news is our government is taking concrete steps to address the barriers that are related to affordability and to stigma that some people in our country still face when accessing menstrual products or educational supports. Women and Gender Equality is establishing a national pilot for the Menstrual Equity Fund. And this pilot will test a national approach to the distribution of free menstrual products to community organizations serving diverse low-income populations across our country. Also, while doing that, providing the education and awareness component as well. This pilot builds on ongoing work to advance menstrual equity, including an initiative led by Indigenous Services Canada to provide free menstrual products in First Nations schools on reserves and in federal schools across Canada. And also an Employment and Social Development Canada-led project that was announced very recently, which ensures the free provision of menstrual products in federally regulated workplaces starting on December 15th. So, as you listen to today's stories, I encourage you to reflect on your own views and your own experiences, and allow what you're hearing today to inspire you to become a champion for change. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be here, for investing in yourself and your community. And I look forward to hearing from all of you today. Thank you very much. Merci.
Hello everyone, my name is Maki and I'm from Senegal, and I'm really glad to be here with other change makers all around the world, especially in Canada today. And I'm an artist and rapper, singer as well from Senegal, and working with Plan International by the collective called Bakassi Create. And in Bakassi Create we have young guys, working on theater, music and painting. And by my side, my team is working on music, hip hop. In our songs, we are denouncing the girls' issues by, for example, by making a song talking on gender equalities, also denouncing the violence against women. The special thing with us is that we are using hip hop. The hip hop is a community that is really held by men, and we as girls, we are trying to show our strength. We are trying also to advocate for our community and also for young girls. So it's really a pleasure being here in this symposium to just tell you about who I am and also to show our work here in Senegal and with Plan International and also with Bakassi Create. All you have to say is just queen. Can you say queen with me? Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go! Queen! Yeah, everybody. I don't hear you. I can hear you. Everybody. I can hear you. One more time. Hey, let's go! Yeah, I'm a survivor, ñoom ñëpp ci kàmb seeni brain yi lay daj sama xalima real queen ma ne fii no du euphorie yaa ma jënki ma génn sa démb del ma sa gàtt couronne bi ñu ko jox ku ñuy ghostwriter ñoo gën a feegee ku yor de visage te ñu pousse passe ñu la ñuy jëm aaja ñoom dañu wéra di man may wéral kuy jaay tëra di maa koy tërëf ñoom dañu safa di man duma seral rappeur amee som ni maa koy waral te dama leen sonal maa leen tongal tëggee boor bu ne maa yor seen tama rëmtam bitam yaa as sugay ne naa leen baal sama yaaroom bidam mën a sëtu njare suma rabbi wàcc mën a xale bi de faru fëkk ba tu màcc daa xam sama rappeur woowee ma tey rappeur te la fi teg ma teggi tegu takk dutaat lës mu ne maa fi mën wax bu yàqu la suñu biir xam nañ kat moo fi ma hey fii rab jigéen moo hey hey everybody just say queen yeah encore I can hear you everybody one more time yeah encore yeah let's go yeah okay guys, hope you loved it. See you, thank you.
Just doing an incredible job. Thank you so much for creating such a welcoming space, honoring all of our incredible speakers, and truly being the incredible advocate that you are. It's amazing to see all the work you've done, and we hope that you continue to work with us. And we're really grateful for how you've really shown the power of advocacy in action. So really wanted to make sure we give you your flowers and really thank you so much for tonight. I did want to take a moment as we close off tonight to first say that this is our first in-person Storytellers Symposium after 4 years, and it makes us so happy at Plan International Canada that you took time out of your day to come here and spend time with us. And as you can see, the incredible youth advocates that we have the privilege of working with all year across Canada and also around the world truly are not only the leaders of tomorrow, but the leaders of today, as our incredible Youth Council member Zian often reminds us. And he also has a podcast about that, so be sure to check that out too, where he talks about that more. But really, we see that there is an opportunity to really not only listen to young people, invest in their talent, but really create a platform for them to amplify their voices. They know exactly the future they want to see, and it's our job to give them the mic, hear what they have to say, and also be in partnership with them. So we hope today helps to highlight that.
I also wanted to, in addition to the incredible Alicia, I wanted to thank all of the people here that have made this event possible. There's too many to name, but I wanted to make sure I did give our flowers to Nawal, our incredible colleague, who really, from start to finish, all of the wonderful touches that you see really is the brainchild of Nawal. I also want to really thank Zane, Tayson, Vanya, and many, many others throughout the organization and our community partners for making this evening possible. And finally, the work that we're doing cannot happen without supporters such as yourselves, folks who give their time, their energy, their resources, their platforms. So I really also want to give a shout out to our incredible champions, our CEO, Lindsay Glasgow, RBC, Raman Fazal, for your incredible contributions, and our Parliamentary Secretary, Jenna Suds, for your investment and support, and also all of the incredible speakers. I think from start to finish, you saw from Flaunt It Movement, from Sedra and Shahd, Illa Dru, Maggie. We actually had the opportunity to also meet Maggie before as well, and she is, you can just see how much presence and charisma she has, even across the screen, pre-recorded, across distances, and we hope in the future we can also create a space where we can start to connect young people in Canada with young people all around the world, and that is our goal with the work that we're doing with Plan International Canada. So before I pass the mic back to Alicia, I really want to encourage you, if you're interested in building the confidence and community of young people, if you really want to spark action, and if you really want to amplify youth voices, please reach out to us. We want to be a partner with you, and let's start this journey together. So with that, I'll pass it back to Alicia.
Andrew, your leadership at Plan International Canada never ceases to take the first step and empower all those around you to do the same. I'm sure we have created more leaders today, leaders of their own lives who influence the lives of others, which allows these moments to change life itself. Because we know that events like these change moments, and moments change lives. Our moments here were only possible due to our daring speakers, thoughtful human library participants, and of course, all you audience members who took a step in choosing to lead. To create a world where youth don't only survive, they're able to thrive. And I encourage you to visit plancanada.ca/youth-opportunities to learn more about youth programming and for an outlook that never stops growing. By highlighting our voices, you can find solace in finding yours too. And you can welcome change and know that youth aren't just the future, we're the present. Decisions made today will affect us tomorrow, but the only way to ensure success is to be heard today. And thank you again, everyone, for joining us at Plan International Canada Storytellers Symposium. We wish you a wonderful rest of the evening, and get home safe, everybody.